So we're going to move on to this section here now. We've got a small issue here. This is one of the broken plastics. So we're going to need to remove this rivet for this bracket and put a new one on. So I'm going to take you to the shed where we will do that quickly now. Okay, so I'm back in the workshop. I've got the new plastic, which has still got its plastic protection on. That's why it looks a bit funky. And then we got the old plastic, it's broken, and that's easy enough to put on. But here, the riveted ones, they're tricky. Now, I've done a bit of riveting before on a Toten ramp, on a Tales of Arabian Night ramp. So I've got a couple of things, but I never felt that I really nailed it. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to first start by removing this old one. Then I'm going to use some of the rivets that I've bought, and there's different techniques. I bought this thing. I've never used it. It's supposedly a punch for putting rivets on, a hand punch. I've never used it. I don't actually know how it all works, but I'm gonna have a look. Then there's another technique which is using just a standard ball punch and a set of flat punches to do the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out, and then once I've got it out, I want to have a look and see which length of these rivets. Now these are all 1/8 diameter rivets, and they range from, what have we got in terms of length? We've got 1/8, 3/16, and 7/32. I will have a look at that and see, and these I got from Marcos. So I will start and see what makes sense. But first, to get this out, there's a number of ways of trying to do this, but I've got a fairly new set of drill bits, and I find if you try and drill it out, you just mangle yourself. There's not a lot of metal on these. They're quite soft by design. So if you just twirl it like this, you'll see that it doesn't take long, and you'll see that the actual metal, you can already see it's already starting to go, disappear, will basically just get worn out. It doesn't take long. You could use a drill if you really wanted and go really slowly. Save your fingers. Other people just punch these out with a punch. And I find that it actually works just fine. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes of twirling. And you'll hear the metal will change from soft. There's a little washer at the bottom, which is generally a harder material. You can see now already the one that's gone. Most of that's now most of the shaft is now gone. And basically what will happen is you'll start to feel the rivet at the top turning. Don't know if you can see that now. And then eventually the little washer will drop off. And then it's a matter of just pushing through the old rivet. And that will come out. We'll do the other side. You want to try to keep on to these little washers if you can reuse them. So if you don't want to use your fingers, you can just use a drill bit and just go really, you can put it in a drill and go really slowly. and you'll find that you just wiggle it around a little bit and it'll eventually just when you feel the rivet moving on this side, you can see that it'll come through. So that's pretty easy to do. So now I want to see which length of rivet is right. So I've got 3 lengths of these, and I hate the imperial system, so I have to do maths now. So I've got 5 30-seconds, 7 30-seconds, and 3/16. So that is 6 30-seconds, that's 7 30-seconds, and that's 5 30-seconds. So that's the longest. So let's have a look at the longest and see the 7 30-seconds. Start from that. Through the metal, through the plastic, through the washer. It doesn't leave a huge amount of shaft left to grip. So that's the longest ones that I've got. I've got another random bag that's not labeled, the length of the shaft. Looks like it's 9 30-seconds. So let's try the 9 30-seconds. So that's going to go through there, that's going to go through there. And there's a lot more clearance there. That's probably right, 9 30-seconds. So there's a variety of tools you can use. There's this riveter, which is really designed more for copper rivets, which I've got, which I'm going to try to use. You've just literally got a little domer there. I'm not a big fan of this one. I've never really mastered it. The other one is just using a ball punch and then another set of punches. So let's go over to the vise, which I use as a little anvil, and let's see how we can make this happen. What do I need? I need my 2 washers, my bracket, and then let's see how we go. This we can use to finish that off. And of course a hammer. So let's go and have a look and see if we can make this work. Okay, so I'm going to just use this surface as a little anvil. What you need to do actually is I probably need to, which is a bit irritating, is remove the plastic protective layer of it. I'm going to have to take it off and be really careful. On the back you're going to have to remove the paper layer. I'm just going to do the paper layer down to the level there, tear that off, leave the rest on. Double check which way you need to put this on. In this case the brackets are facing backwards. I'm going to put in my first rivet through the hole. See if I can get that on nicely. I'll actually use this area, this spot here. And then just going to tap it with the ball punch to get that over. These have gone over a little bit, so the tubes are a little bit opened up and splayed. Then I'm going to take a flat punch possible that these are actually too long and I should have gone for the shorter ones. Let's have a look. because you shouldn't need to hammer this much. So that's that. It's not a perfect job. I probably used slightly too long rivets, but those are in, that's fair. So at the end of the day, I don't think this is a really good tool for riveting. You can get away with just a ball punch and a flat punch. This punch is probably a little fine. I should probably find to get one that's not quite as fine. It works well enough. I don't have to do that many rivets. And this worked out okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Back inside. Thanks very much for watching. Consider subscribing, hit the bell, you know what to do. Till next time, goodbye.